Let's talk about dream feedings. A lot of baby center parents dream feed, or they're at least curious about dream feeding. What are your top tips for dream feeding and how to incorporate formula into those nighttime feedings?
So it's such a great question. So the practice of dream feeding or feeding while your baby is still partially asleep is often done to help babies get longer stretches of sleep. And whether or not to dream feed is something that is very personal. There's really no clear consensus in the literature whether this works. But I know it helps a lot of families. As a pediatrician, I've heard that often. So I think some important things when parents, want to start dream feeding is one, remember that newborns require frequent feedings, and dream feeding really shouldn't start until they're sleeping for longer stretches, which is around 2 to 3 months of age. Also, ensure that you're following safe feeding formula practices. So it's not safe to feed a completely asleep baby on their back. Some tips that can help parents in sort of prepping for dream feeding is you can make the bottle ahead of time. So if you do that, make sure you cap it and keep it in the refrigerator. Or if you need to leave it out at room temperature, you really should only leave it out at room temperature for 2 hours. And once the baby starts drinking from the bottle, it should be thrown away within an hour. I also like to let parents know that there are certain nutrients in infant formula that can support babies in sleeping. So ByHeart has alpha-lactalbumin in our formula, and we're the first U.S. infant formula to add this protein. And it is high in tryptophan, which has been shown to help babies fall asleep faster.
I love hearing that. This is super helpful. As you mentioned, I know dream feeds really help a lot of new families get more sleep. So thank you for that.